go.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Ingrid.
Hi, Ingrid. Nice to meet you. My name is Sidiki, and I'm a PA counselor of the council department. I'm under faculty supervision, and throughout the session, everything that will be said will be kept confidential. However, there might be limits to confidentiality. Let's say you are unable to take care of yourself, or you're willing to hurt people, then I would have to break confidentiality. And also, we will be meeting once a week for 30 minutes. However, you can leave the sessions at your will at any time. Do you have any question?
No.
Okay, great. So what's bringing you here today?
So, so my major is forensic psychology. I'm a junior right now, so I've completed a lot, so far that has to do with the major. But I'm kind of, I don't want to say regretting, but I'm second guessing, I guess, my choice of this major. Sometimes even my choice of going to school. I feel like maybe it's not for me, kind of, but, if I do quit or if I decide to change, either way, it's like I would, I would be throwing, money down the drain. I would, all my efforts would have been for nothing in a way. And so right now I'm just in a point, at a point right now in, I guess, my college life where I don't know if school is for me. I don't know if this is exactly what I want to do or be a part of. So, yeah.
Okay, so you were saying that you're a junior, and then your major is forensic science.
Psychology.
I'm sorry, psychology, and you already completed like most of your education here for your major, and you kind of like getting your choice. Tell me more about choosing psychology at the first place.
So, actually, ever since I was little, I didn't want to do psychology. I wanted to work with animals. But I kind of felt like that, because I'm really scared of cats. So I was like, maybe that, working with animals isn't for me. So that's when I kind of started to explore different options, different things that I do like. And I always loved to read, and I always loved to write. So I felt like psychology would be the perfect place for me to learn and for me to read a lot about, the human mind and how people kind of tick, or kind of, why they do things or why they don't do things. And I felt like, immersing myself in this field would be fun in a way, because I really love to read, I love to write, I love to interpret things, and write them in my own words. So I thought that I would enjoy it while, getting a degree while going to school.
Okay. So you're saying that actually psychology would have been fun, like a choice, by reading. But besides having fun, going to psychology major, what would have been your choice, actually, your career goal by going to psychology?
So I guess my goal was, I did want to, eventually, I would like to be licensed. I would or not, I don't know, maybe that's not the right word, but I would like to be a counselor. Probably not so much, clinical, so diagnosing people with mental illnesses. I don't know if I want to go into that so much. But I felt like counseling people, kind of helping people cope with certain things. Maybe even kids, but I feel like that would be kind of complicated, or really vastly different from forensic psychology. But yeah, I think, so my career goal would be to be a counselor, to help people talk about their issues and kind of find a way to solve them or to feel better about themselves. So that would be, I would like to be a counselor.
So it seems like you have such a good personality, actually, either to work with animals or either to work with people. So it seems like you're very willing to help whether on academic psychology or forensic science or that major. Okay, but tell me more about your regrets about taking that major.
So, I guess my regret would come from, I feel like, not that I'm not passionate about it anymore, but I feel like maybe I should have done my research more into other things. Because before, like after animals and before I actually settled on psychology, there were a couple of other things in between that I was always, that I always kind of wanted to explore, but then in my mind that was like, you know, I'm not gonna get any money out of that. Like I can't support myself in the future on that. Like I can't be like a completely independent adult, like in those fields, because I feel like they're very uncertain. So like, yeah, like I explored film a little, photography. Basically those are like the two main ones that I was really interested in after animals and before picking psychology. But yeah, I guess my regret would come from sorry. I guess my regret would come from that I picked, I don't want to say I picked money, but that I didn't explore more before I actually settled.
Okay, so there was lack of actually research. You haven't made a lot of research. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then would you think that like money would be like another like a factor that play a lot of a big part?
Yeah, I think it played a big part in me actually picking it for sure, because, you know, my parents don't even live in this country. So I'm solely responsible for me. Like I haven't lived with my parents since I was 17. So I've been like, you know, it's like it's my responsibility to take care of me in that way. So I feel like money was definitely a really big factor in me making my decision.
Would you please tell me more about your feelings? How do you feel about it? How does it make you feel?
I guess I don't know if regret is a feeling, but I don't think that's a feeling. But I guess I would say I feel kind of sad, maybe, or kind of like annoyed that society kind of puts so much emphasis on money. You need to have money because you need to do this, or you're supposed to do that. So I think those are two, like sad and angry and doubt. I think that's a really big one.
So I feel like you're very you are uncertain about
Yeah.
future and what will be the measure that will be becoming, correct?
Yeah.
But what have you done like, to try to cope with this situation?
Probably not the healthiest thing. I usually kind of like ignore those feelings until, you know, every once in a while I have like my moment of crying about it for like 2 hours, and then like that helps me like get it all out, and then like 6 weeks down the line that happens again. So what I usually do is I just usually ignore it, and you know, kind of like my mindset is, you know, you're already here, you're already at this point, so just keep moving forward and finish your degree, and then, you know, once you're done, you can figure out where to go from there or what to do. Or
So it seems like you have like a bit of hope, you know, when you come to a situation, meaning that there's sometimes you feel like you want to go ahead and finish your degree and see what's going to happen.
yeah, but I like that word. I never considered like that way, but yeah, I guess in a sense, because I still like the field. You know, it's not that, you know, I hate psychology and I hate, you know, I still enjoy reading and I still enjoy writing and kind of exploring like different research topics, and so I still do enjoy that part of the field of the major. So that I think is what really keeps me like on track, even though I have like this what ifs in the back of my mind. Yeah, I feel like that hope of, you know, that I can finish this and I can finish this successfully and probably get, you know, a good career going. That's what really keeps me.
Also, have you like spoken to any academic advisor?
In the beginning, and I actually don't really like going to that office because I feel like they're not helpful at all. So in the beginning I did with regards to making sure that I was taking the right classes, even though they kind of screwed up there anyway. But yeah, if I can avoid that office at all costs, I avoid it. I don't go in there.
So, are you saying that you kind of regretted going there in the first place? Tell me more about it.
Not so much regret. I think it was more just like annoyed that their job is to advise academically and they don't really do that very well. So my experience with them has always been I go back and forth in there and they're not helpful. Kind of like, so I feel like I've kind of figured out what to do like academically, like on my own. Like, yeah, starting when you're a freshman, they kind of give you the list of classes, or they tell you like what you're exempt from or what you should take or shouldn't take or when you should take it. So they were helpful kind of in that way, but I feel like they still, like they were helpful in teaching me how to get my classes organized to graduate, right? But they weren't helpful with what classes exactly, because I actually got they got a few things wrong, which made me in turn not, like, have to keep going back and forth with them to actually get exactly what I needed, like for my major, so I get more clarification. So.
Okay, so let's go back a second to what you mentioned earlier about your family. So if I heard correctly, you said that they're not in the U.S., in the country. So what role do they play, you know, in your educations? Like, do they have any say when it comes to your major, the career?
They used, like, they had a say when I was growing up to kind of let me know what I should strive for. So I should strive for straight A's and a good